The market is focused on rooms and hosts. The real question is distribution. In the hotel business, the durable asset sits in the reservation pipe, the loyalty file, and the brand standard manual. A bed can be copied quickly. Demand capture is another matter entirely. Take the main players. Marriott under Anthony Capuano, Hilton under Chris Nassetta, Hyatt under Mark Hoplamazian, and Booking Holdings under Glenn Fogel all understand the same arithmetic. The customer acquisition line determines more value than the mattress line. That point rarely makes the television panel. Then there's Airbnb, led by Brian Chesky, a talented operator with a founder's instinct for product and narrative. He built a marketplace that assembled fragmented supply at global scale. Impressive work. Yet even marketplaces discover that trust, search rank, repeat usage, and service consistency become their own form of branded distribution. The setup started long before the home-sharing debate became fashionable. In the 1990s and 2000s, large hotel companies learned that fee streams could outrun owned real estate returns. Franchise and management contracts produced lighter balance sheets, steadier margins, and a wider map. Boards liked the multiple, lenders liked the asset-light story. By the time smartphones arrived, another change had already rewritten the economics. Online travel agencies became toll collectors. Booking.com, Expedia, and their peers bought traffic, organized inventory, and sold demand back to hotels at a healthy take rate. Any chairman reading the packet could see the hidden liability. Distribution had become rented. That pressure forced branded chains to sharpen their own systems. Loyalty programs stopped being soft marketing garnish and became hard infrastructure. Bonvoy, Hilton Honors, and World of Hyatt were no longer polite appendices at Investor Day. They were the response to rising acquisition costs and thinning ownership economics. Look at the mechanics. Marriott's 2023 annual report shows more than 8,800 properties and roughly 1.6 million rooms. Yet, the company owns very little of the box itself. The engine is fees. Franchise, management, and loyalty economics ride on top of third-party capital. That is a fine business when brand control holds. Hilton runs a similar playbook with admirable discipline. Its filings repeatedly emphasize net unit growth, fee revenue, direct channels, and honors engagement. The room owner carries the concrete, labor headaches, and much of the cyclicality. Hilton keeps the flag, the standards, the software, and a meaningful slice of demand. Airbnb, by contrast, controls little physical supply and standardizes less of the stay. Its strength is aggregation and discovery. Its weakness appears when the guest wants certainty at scale. Business travel, group events, airport nights, and loyalty-driven repeat booking still reward brands that reduce variance and answer the phone. This is where the discount rate decides everything. Investors often value hotel groups as if the room count were the asset. It is not. The asset is future demand routed through a trusted channel at an acceptable acquisition cost. Put a higher discount rate on unbranded, inconsistent inventory, and the equity math changes quickly. The friction shows up in the booking path. A guest searches Google, then comes paid placement, an OTA listing, a meta search screen, a brand site, maybe an app. Every hand in that chain takes a nibble. I used to call it death by courteous percentages. Small cuts accumulate into strategic dependence. There is also brand enforcement. Franchise systems look elegant in the board deck until one property cuts corners on staffing, cleanliness, or renovation timing. Then the chain learns that fragmented owners can dilute a premium name one breakfast buffet at a time. Board minutes seldom dwell on the buffet. Airbnb carries a parallel problem from the other side. Fragmented hosts create broad supply and uneven experience. The company has spent years tightening standards, promoting guest favorites, improving verification, and policing quality. Sensible moves. They also demonstrate the same old lesson. Distribution alone is not enough when trust becomes variable. The immediate result has favored the big branded operators. After the pandemic disruption, Marriott and Hilton recovered with surprising speed because loyalty members returned, direct booking channels held up, and corporate travel gradually reopened. Average daily rates rose. Fee streams rebounded. Asset-light models looked very clever at the closing dinner. Airbnb also recovered strongly, particularly in leisure and alternative accommodations, and deserves credit for doing so. Still, the long-run comparison remains different from the headline fight. Hotels are building toll roads for repeat demand. Airbnb is organizing an open marketplace. Both can grow. One model usually carries tighter control over the customer relationship. Watch the first earnings call after any industry wobble. Management teams speak about RevPAR, occupancy, ADR, and development pipeline. Sensible enough. The more revealing lines sit underneath: direct booking mix, loyalty penetration, digital engagement, and owner retention. The room count gets the headline. The distribution engine pays the dividend. I have seen this before in airlines. In the 1980s and 1990s, the seat looked like the product. Then frequent flyer programs, corporate contracts, and reservation systems proved to be the stronger economics. The aircraft was expensive and perishable. The customer file and route-based distribution did the real strategic work. I saw it again in consumer packaged goods. Shelf space and brand blocked fragmented local producers for decades. A factory could be built by anyone with financing and patience. National distribution was another beast altogether. The pattern is older than the press. Control the channel, and fragmented supply becomes raw material. 30 years in the room taught me that executives often talk about the visible asset because it photographs well. Guests see a room, investors see a property count. Boards should ask who owns demand and acceptable cost, who can enforce standards across a dispersed network, and who can raise prices without buying every building. I've seen this before. Here's what it means. The winners in lodging tend to own the booking habit, the trusted brand, and the repeat customer file, while fragmented supply competes for what is left. Who's running this same playbook today? Comment one name.